Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. And for the past few days, there's been an overwhelming response on the discussion and the topic of sanskars. And I think the reason for that is because once we've understood the reason why our life unfolds in the way that it does, and the way that we perceive it, is because of sanskars. Now there's another part to it because it's also called karma. And the energy of karma is also rooted in sanskar. Karma in English is basically actions. But we hear, oh, she has good karmas. Or we might hear, they have bad karma. Or if something happens that it's negative, you'll say, oh, it's just a settling of their karma. It's karma. Or if it's dramatic, it's karma. But also if they've won the lottery, or if they've been born into a family that is wealthy and noble and principle-based, then you'd say it's the soul's good karma. You see, but the karma is connected to the sanskars. Powerful topic, no? So that's what we want to dive deeper into, and I'd really like you to take out your pen and paper, or have you been reviewing these past few days on sanskars? Santosh had asked me to talk about it, and it became even a great passion for me to talk about more, because it will help all of us to come out of complexities and difficulties of relationships and circumstances. It's sanskars. There are these deep impressions in the soul. There's a mind and intellect and the sanskars. Maybe I can emerge the image from yesterday. Again, I want you to see yourself. You're this infinitesimal point of light. You as a soul, you are immortal. You are imperishable. You are eternal. Now, just say that inside of your mind. I'm immortal, eternal, imperishable. Just observe how it feels. Either there's a block or there's an acceptance. Both feelings are valid. The block is you've been living a lot in your human consciousness, in body consciousness, that you don't remember the essence of who you are. And that's okay. We've all been there. And if upon saying it, you felt unlimited and bright and free, then you're doing the work as well. So mind, intellect, sanskar, it's cyclical. But all the energy and all the vibration is coming from sanskar. And there are 5 forms of sanskars that I will explore today to give you a little bit more insight on how the sanskars, the habits, the personality gets formed even deeper. Because whatever is that sum total of energy, whatever is saved in your spirit, It's a frequency, it's a vibration. It sends a message into the mind, the consciousness of your existence, your ego self. It's like, oh, I feel happy today. Oh, I don't feel happy today. Oh, this person is a good person. Oh, that person is not a good person. You know, the vibrations from the sanskars sending a message to the mind, and then the intellect is discerning based on its understanding. Whatever you've understood about your life, you will define, discern, judge, decide what to do because of the thought that enters the mind. But the deeper aspect is, what was the sanskar behind that? Somebody was telling me that they were a little moody and that they felt a little off. And I said, yeah, we've all had these days. But you have to check, do you have a vision of yourself that's much more compelling than the moodiness? You see, that's when the intellect has enough information within itself to know if you're moody, frustrated, upset, disconnected, sad, empty, bored. The intellect now has been taught enough in the teachings of Raja Yoga meditation that that's when the soul is attached to its bodily awareness, its human conditioning. Those are the sanskars that has the influence of algae: anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. But the intellect also knows that my original nature is love, peace, purity, truth, and joy. So when you start to feel uninspired, when you're feeling bored, if you're feeling tired too much, you're not taking care of the soul. You're in body consciousness. And that body consciousness creates energies, situations, circumstances that you will have to deal with at a body conscious level. It's very interesting. And so the teachings of Raja Yoga meditation is to offer you insights into how to transform the energy that you are on the inside. So let's take a look at five qualities or 5 forms of sanskars, okay? And this is on the BK site. And instead of AI, this will be our awakened intelligence today. And I'm going to read it through because it's what I've already shared with you, but I want you to really go deeper. They say if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, it becomes normal and natural for you. So as I mentioned, the soul has 3 faculties: mind, intellect, and sanskars. We are focusing on sanskars. Very often we say that we can't understand each other, and sometimes we can't understand our own behavior. Why did I do what I did? Why did I say what I said? It is because we're not aware of the sanskars or personality traits that each one of us carries. Now, each soul carries 5 types of sanskars. That's 8 billion people on the planet. Number 1, the sanskars we inherit from our family or parents. And that too is connected karmically. We often find certain habits of ours very similar to the habits of members of our family. They could be physical habits or our way of thinking and personality traits. If you were raised in a family where your mother or your father said, you have to work hard to make money, then as a child you get this indoctrination, if I don't work hard, I won't get money. Or it could be that you don't feel you should work hard, and so you actually never have money. It's deeply subconscious that you know you have to make effort to get something in return. Some of us also have physical behavioral traits of our parents. We walk like our mother or our father. We say things like a parent. And there are some of us who say, I don't belong to this family. And in reality, if you really look deep, there is something there that has you connected. Sanskars. There's a sanskar connection. Energetically, there's a hook. The second form of sanskars which are created because of the environment we're in. And this is huge. If you travel around the world, you begin to identify cultures very easily based on the country. Country, caste, culture, city, locality, school, friends, your social circle. There is an old movie, I think it was called Coming to America or something. It was an investigation of these two wealthy men who decided to put a young man or something in a rich environment from the ghetto, and he adapted to that lifestyle. And then they put a young person who was very rich into the ghetto, and they adapted to the lifestyle. Forgot the name of the movie, but it was very telling. And so many times you might say, oh, Indians are like this. Or people will say, oh, Gujaratis are like this. Oh, they're Punjabis, no? So they're putting you into like a group of personality expression based on your culture or your caste or your group. The food you eat, they'll say, oh, these people, they love meat. And maybe in India they'll say, oh, we don't eat the cows. It's sacred. It's all a cultural thing, but it's connected to your sanskar. That's why your sanskar attracted that vibration. That sanskar is in you to be a Brahmin, to be a Shudra, to eat vegetarian, to not eat vegetarian. Your language, your behavior. Black people are like this. White people are like this. It's sanskar speaking. No. Sanskars are rooted in either love, peace, purity, truth, or joy, or anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. It's not that black people are like this, white people are like this, Indians are like this. Everybody will have a unique way of expressing themselves. But what are the sanskars? Algae or the original sanskars? That's what the humanity needs. Stay black, stay white, stay Chinese, stay short, stay tall, stay light-skinned, stay Indian, stay Muslim, stay Christian. But what are your sanskars? Are you with me on this? What are the sanskars? Is it influenced by algae or the original nature? Are you with me? Put it in the comment, please. Everybody who's watching out there on Facebook or YouTube, think about what I'm saying to you. This will liberate you from a lot of complexities, and it will save you a lot of waste time and energy. Number 3, sanskars we carry forward from our past birth. This is where I find myself more focused. We understand that we're not this body, but the spiritual energy that uses the body, energy which is not created or destroyed. Remember what I said? Immortal, eternal, imperishable. That's the soul. Energy which is immortal, eternal. Okay, so death means the soul leaves the old body or a body and gets a new one, ready for it to be used again by the soul. When the soul leaves one body, one costume, the soul will carry its sanskars with it. This explains why even identical twins have very different personalities. Bodies are identical, but each soul is carrying a different past. Now, why did they become twins, identical twins? It depends on how they left the body. If both people left the body at the same time, they would maybe cling to each other and perhaps find the same womb together. It depends on the karma inside of the souls. The fourth kind of sanskar. Sanskars that are created by your own will. And this is what we're learning in Raja Yoga meditation. Because if I identify certain sanskars within me that I'm not very proud of, then I have the power to change it. Not an outside God that's going to change it, but I internally, in remembrance of God, will change that. But not only my remembrance of God will change it, my understanding of spiritual knowledge will help me to change it too. It's amazing, right? So sanskars created by our own willpower, we may carry any type of sanskar from the past, family or environment, but if we wish to change, we can create a new sanskar with our own willpower. And that's what we practice every day in the Brahma Kumaris. If we tend to identify that I'm not doing good, we have to ask ourselves why. If I'm not inspired, if I'm not really growing, I have to ask myself, what's going on? What is the sanskar that is really driving this now? And we do our work. And then we shift it with spiritual wisdom and yoga, remembrance of Baba's light. Baba's light will absolve whatever's getting in the way, which is usually algae sanskar. Number 5, original sanskars of the soul. The above 4 types of sanskars are acquired after using the body, which means once the soul is in the body, it gets very attached to the human conditioning of life. And when it gets attached to human conditioning of life, then it's feeding either the algae sanskar, and then the original eternal sanskars are not really being activated as much. It's just there. Are you with me? I get now accustomed more to the algae influence, even if it's not heightened, but it's functioning through me. Ego. I'm right. Or I'm better than them. Or I isolate myself from people because I don't feel comfortable with people. I want to stay alone in my corner and do my thing. That's ego. So it's different forms. Attachment. It's my way or the highway. I can't live without it. You understand? So the way the algae plays out for birth after birth impacts the way I see myself now and the way I see others. And the focus of Raja Yoga meditation is to get rid of the 5 vices: anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego, so that you can truly live your life fully. That is something I'm so passionate about. And you find that it will require effort. I'll walk around and dream of one day somebody will donate $1 million so I could do more and open up the big warehouse to do my programs for the masses. I will think like that. I will think about, oh, wait until everybody lines up to come into the meditation museum. It's Baba's teaching. Baba's coming to liberate everyone. I'm so sure of it. Or I'll check behaviors or things that I'm doing or others are doing. And I go, why did they think that way? And so it just helps me to gain deeper insights, okay? So the above 4 types of sanskars are acquired after using the body. But each soul, 8 billion, has an original set of sanskars. That's why we say God is in everyone. Or that's why people will say, I don't believe God is outside, even though there are certain cultures that worship 33 million forms of God. Okay? In Islam, they'll give 99 praises of God. So it isn't, you might be praying outside, but it's really a deep internal affair. So these original sanskars, peace, joy, love, bliss, purity, wisdom, these 7 sanskars are the original sanskars of the soul. I outlined 5: love, peace, purity, truth, and joy. You can go on a little bit more if you want. These are the original sanskars of every soul. And all the sanskars we see today of ego, anger, greed, jealousy, fear, and so on, have been acquired. They're not original. So when somebody gets upset with you, you're realizing that's not their true self. Okay. When somebody seems to be miserable or pouty face, you know they're trapped somewhere in the past and you're trying to get them out of it. They're still stuck there. And you think about yourself, even when you're helping somebody else to be corrected. And so those 7 sanskars, can you go back to that? I didn't finish. When we become soul conscious and remain aware of our original sanskars, just hear this again, which is very big in Brahma Kumaris, soul consciousness. When we become soul conscious, we start to remain aware of our original nature. And when we become aware of the original nature, love, peace, purity, truth, and joy is who I am, those sanskars start to emerge again and become very dominant. Thank you, Santosh. So I hope that that gave you some extra insights into who you really are. And it is helping you to understand the people around you. It's really an exchange of sanskars. It's an energy. But your primary focus is my sanskar becoming close to the quality of a deity soul, an angelic soul, a world benefactor soul, which means, are my sanskars evolving in such a way that my energy, my personality is benevolent? It's a bestowing energy. It brings benefit wherever it goes. That's why you're watching Next Normal. That's why I do the Next Normal, is to also help me to be benefited. It's a two-way seat. It's a two-way, what do you call it? It's a two-sided thing, two-way deal. Let's listen to our Sister Gita effect and feel her divine sanskaras.
Now, all of us are in the quest for peace, whether we are conscious of it or not. Sometimes we do things to create peace for us, and later on the line we see it actually takes us into entanglement. We all are familiar with that. Now, the intrinsic nature of each and every living being is that of peace. So where is it? Where did it go? The fact that you don't feel peaceful, you will use the reality of truth to state, I am a being of peace. Whatever is happening, we know it's coming from, imprints of the past, experiences we've had. Sometimes there are people around us that bring up certain feelings in us, certain emotions. And there are 2 things we can do with that. If we're spiritually strong, we can detach ourselves spiritually from that scene, check out what's going on, protect the self from whatever it is. Or take a vacation go somewhere else until you've got stronger to deal with that energy. Because all it is an energy. Peace is an energy. Anxiety and stress they're also energies. So within us at this time, there are two things happening. Your peace is there, but also the invasion of the anxiety, the unsurety, the insecurity. All of these things are always also there. Once again, I can't express enough. Take yourself back to reality. I am a being of peace. You don't ignore the feelings. You give it some kind of recognition. If you ignore the person or the feeling, it will come up just louder.
I don't know about you, but does Sister Gita put a smile in your face when you just listen to her presence and her vibration? I miss her sometimes. Not in a way of sorrow, but the missing is of just continued stories, to have more experiences and stories that were always filled with so much joy and wisdom. Such a joyful person, despite her traumas. Just a joyful person. Today's Avyakt signal: old matters, old sanskars must be experienced as something of the past. So let all name and trace of the old part of you be finished. For this, number one, be beyond. Practice with your intellect to be beyond. Be a witness of everything. Number two, be beyond with your sanskars. Go beyond even the consciousness that this is the way I am. This is my sanskar. Practice being beyond that. Go even beyond the thought, I think. Where you use the word I, just remember, what does Baba think? What would Baba say? And when you do this, you'll become more elevated. It's such an interesting practice, right? What did Baba say? What is Baba about to say to this person? All right. So, Rashmi, you're welcome. Thank you. Kinari, some strong sanskars of loved one. How can we help to change it? Again, the only thing that I have experienced to transform the sanskars of others, one is don't see the limited sanskar, the hurt, the negativity of, you're aware of it, but don't feed into it. Feed into, how will that person look without that sanskar? So now create a vision of the person outside of that sanskar, no longer feeding that. Just create a vision, and when you look at them with that vision of that sanskar. See how that works, okay? All right, Kinari. Aloha Smita, Sonia C. Blessings to you too. Chaya, Azuri, Aunt, nice to have you. Oh, Trading Place. Yeah, that was the movie. Thank you. Thank you, Seeds. Hey, Jay, are you on? Are you on today? Om Shanti, my sweet brother. You know, you meet some souls along the way and you're like, we're going to be friends for a long time. So Chaya, again, Anil, nice to see you. Yukti, Darlene, loving the lessons on sanskars. Thank you. Brindabella. Now that's unique. The storytelling here is top notch. Really kept me engaged. Thank you, Brindabella. Thank you so much. Rank Chaser, such a relevant topic in today's world. Thank you for highlighting it. All right, Love Sea Salt. Wow, this was a deep dive. I appreciate the insights shared. Travel Lacroix. This video really resonated with me. I'm going to reflect on my own sanskars. Please do. Our whole journey is to look more at ourselves, not at others. Hi, Jan. Nice to have you. The way you explain complex concepts is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, and good morning from Jane in New Jersey. Hi, Jane. So finally I know your name, Janapfi. Okay. Morning, Jane. All right, Azuri, Anita, Joanne, certified locally. I never thought about Sanskars in this way. Mind-blowing. Good, certified locally. The visuals are stunning. Good. D. Rise, I love how you connect ancient wisdom with modern life. So inspiring. Thanks, Dinesh. I really love that you recognize that. Money Mama, that's a nice title. Okay, Smita, welcome. Hildy, rebirths after rebirth takes us closer to reach purity in life. What a great question, Hildy. At some point, the rebirth after rebirth, it depends on the part that's recorded in the soul. It might take us away from purity because we're accumulating so many stories with each relationship and each birth. However, there is a period in our lives where God's energy becomes awakened in our consciousness. And when we start to allow God's love to access the subconscious, which is where the sanskars are, then you transform all the impurity that is within you. So the whole teachings of Raj Yoga meditation is to transform any impurity that is in you, that is creating the complexities of life. So the soul, Baba's energy inside, it's a loving power, it's a pure power, it's a peaceful power. It just absolves the algae till eventually it disappears. Hey, we have to just keep breaking these attachments. It makes the story so complicated. So keep loving everybody the same. Just keep loving people. Us, that's it. You don't have to love them and have them join you at dinner, but from your feelings, don't have any ill feelings for anyone. That's where your complications are coming from. Ill feelings. Transform them and be free. Have a lovely day today. Lots of love, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Om Shanti.